The Jehoash Inscription is the name of a controversial artifact rumored to have surfaced in a construction site or Muslim cemetery near the Temple Mount of Jerusalem. The inscription describes repairs made to the temple in Jerusalem by Jehoash, son of King Ahaziah of Judah, and corresponds to the account in 2 Kings chapter 12. While some scholars support the antiquity of the patina, which in turn strengthens the contention that the inscription is authentic, the Israel Antiquities Authority has reported that the inscription is a modern-day forgery. Text of the inscription. Transcription. Police investigation. Israeli magazine Maariv correspondent Boaz Gaon reported that the Israel Antiquities Authority theft unit had focused their attention on the Jehoash inscription as expensive bait to defraud a prominent collector in London. Israeli investigators linked a phony business card and a phone number to a Tel Aviv private eye who admitted that his employer was Oded Golan, the collector who owned the James Ossuary. Golan denied that he was the owner of the stone and claimed that the real owner was a Palestinian antiquities dealer who lived in an area under Palestinian Authority and could not be identified. A March 19, 2003, article in Maariv reported that a court had issued a search warrant for Golan's apartment, office and rented warehouse. The search brought forth allegedly incriminating documents and photographs of Golan beside the Jehoash inscription. Under interrogation, Golan promised to reveal the location of the stone in exchange for immunity from prosecution. Then police conducted a new search in a storage space that Golan had rented in Ramat Gan but had not originally disclosed to them. There the police found scores of artifacts, ancient seals and other inscriptions in various stages of production along with the tools to create the imitations. Under harsh questioning, Golan admitted that he knew about the Jehoash inscription and promised to hand it over. On March 14, 2012, Jerusalem Judge Aharon Farkash stated that there is no evidence that any of the major artifacts were forged, and that the prosecution failed to prove their accusations beyond a reasonable doubt. However, the court also ruled that it was unable to conclude that the Jehoash inscription was authentic and noted that an associate of the accused forgers had confessed to aiding in its fabrication. Israel Antiquities Authority Commission Limor Livnat, Israeli Minister of Culture, appointed a scientific commission to study the Jehoash tablet, as well as the James Ossuary. The commission concluded that various mistakes in the speaking and the mixture of different alphabets indicated that this was a modern forgery. The stone was typical of Western Cyprus and areas further west. Patina over the chiseled letters was different from that of the back of the stone and could easily be wiped off the stone by hand. In a press conference in Jerusalem on June 18, 2003, the Israel Antiquities Authority Commission declared the inscription a modern forgery. Scholarly opinion. Israeli historian Nadav Nahman, who had theorized that the books of the kings could be based on public inscriptions, opined that a forger could have used his theory as a basis for a forgery. Frank Cross of Harvard University noted various errors in spelling and terminology. Yuval Goran of Tel Aviv University demonstrated how the convincing fake could be produced by abrasive airbrushing. The stone itself remained hidden. In an article published in 2007, Professor Chaim Cohen of Ben-Gurion University wrote, "My long-standing position concerning the authenticity of the E as follows. In order to remove any possible doubt concerning my position as regards the authenticity of the E, I wish to emphasize at the outset that I do not know whether or not this inscription is genuine. I do contend, however, that it cannot be proven philologically to be a modern-day forgery. I would also add that if nevertheless the E does turn out to be a forgery, then it is a most brilliant forgery in my opinion. Victor Sassin responds that the sandstone inscription need not be the first and original record. If the stone itself cannot scientifically be dated to late 9th century BCE, then the text could be a later copy of an original inscription. We do indeed have a reference to a possible renovation or restoration of an inscription. The author of the Tel Fakir Assyrian-Aramaic bilingual inscription, dated to the mid-9th century BCE, speaks of a possible future renovation of his inscription. Professor Ronnie Reich, who played a key role in the widely publicized case of the antiquities collector accused of fraud, and was one of the founders of the Israel Antiquities Authority, stated, "Finally, allow me to play devil's advocate and say that the inscription appears to me to be authentic, because it's hard for me to believe that a forger could be so knowledgeable in all aspects of the inscription minus, that is, the physical, paleographic, linguistic and biblical ones, minus that they could produce such an object." In a review article published in 2012, Rosenfeld, Feldman, Kronfeld and Krumbine summarized their earlier published studies and reviewed the expert testimony given at the trial of Oded Golan. They supported the judge's conclusion that the forgery of the artifact could not be disproved, and stated that the trial evidence confirmed their own earlier conclusion that it is most probably genuine. In mid-2013, after Judge Aaron Farkash of the Jerusalem District Court ruled that the state had failed to prove the artifact was a forgery, the state applied to the Supreme Court to obtain an official requiring the owner of the artifact, Golan, to consign it to the state without payment. The Supreme Court ruled against the Israel Antiquities Authority, returning the tablet and ossuary to Golan, who intends to publicly display both.